Good morning, Year 6. This is the lesson for Monday, week beginning the 1st of March, and today we're going to be ordering fractions, decimals and percentages. So first of all, I just want you to look at the success criteria for today. So you're going to be converting fractions, decimals and percentages. You're going to be identifying shortcuts in your calculations, and we're also going to be doing problem solving and reasoning. So, like every day, I'd like you to spend 10 minutes doing your daily practice. I'd like you to time yourself, and then maybe you can write how long it took you to do these 8 questions, and then you can see how much you're improving day by day. So, pause the video here and spend 10 minutes doing your daily practice. Okay, so first of all, as a starter question, I'm going to read out the question and I'd like you to see if you can work it out. So, number 1. Match the equivalent fractions, decimals and percentages. So your fraction, each of these will link to one of these, which will then link to one of these. So to be able to match them up, the first thing I'd like us to do is turn all the other columns that's not in fractions into fractions, because then it's really easy to start matching them up. So the first thing I would do here is I would look at this column, and our first number says 0.03. So I would like to change that into a fraction. So I want you to look at the 3 and I want you to think about what column that 3 is in. Is it the ones, the tenths or the hundredths? Right, so well done if you can see that it's in the hundredths. That means as a fraction it is 3 over 100. Looking at the next one then, we've got 1 in the tens column and 5 in the hundredths column, so we know that that is 15 over 100. And next here you can see it will be 5 over 10, but if I wanted that to be over 100, then I would have to times them both by 10, which means it would be 50 over 100. Right, so as you can see now that we've made these into fractions, it's really easy to see which one they would match up to here. So I'm going to do that straight away. I can match that up. 50 over 100 is 50%, 0.15 is 15%, and 0.03 is 3%. But now we need to do this and see. Already I can see 3 over 100. I'm going to match them up. I can see that they are the same, but now we need to continue with these two. So I'm going to change it so that it's over 100. How many 20s go into 100? 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. I've times my denominator by 5. I'm going to do the same to the numerator. 3 times 5 is 15. So that's 15 hundredths. I can see that I'm correct because it is one of my answers available. So I'm going to put that to there. And then you should know that a half would mean a half of 100, which is 50. So that is correct as well. Number 2 now, it says, write the decimal that is 1/10 less than 100%. So I want you to think there, how many tens are there in 100? Well done if you know that there are 10 tens in 100. So that means that we need to take away 10%. 10% less than 100 would be 90%, and now you need to see if you can work that out as a decimal. So we've gone from having 1, we need to take away 0.1. Pause the video, see if you can work out that question, and then the answer will be on the next slide. Well done if you managed to get that the answer was 0.9 for that question. So the tasks that we're going to do now are also going to help you to be able to convert fractions, decimals and percentages. If you have a question like these that says, order the following from smallest to greatest, the first thing you need to do is work out what they would all be out of 100. Then it's going to be really easy to order them. Here you've been given 0.97, 95% and 3/4. So the first one's really easy. You know that 0.97 just means it's 97% Now we need to change this fraction a little bit harder this time. What is 100 divided by 4? Use the bus stop method if you're not sure, or maybe you know already that that is times by 25, because there are 25 4s in 100. You're going to do the same to the numerator, so 3 times 25, which would give you 75, which is the same as 75%. Now we can order them. So we've got 97%, 95%, and 75%. The smallest one is 75%. The next one after that is obviously 95%, and then the last one would be 97%. So it'll be your job to convert them so that you can put them in order. Next task, so it's the same, similar type of question. It says order the following from smallest to greatest. Already, there's one that we can change that's really easy. 0.62 is the same as 62%, so that's a really quick one. Now we can see that that is obviously greater than that. Harder one is the fraction. Again, we're always going to convert it so that it's out of 100. How many 5s go into 100? Remember, that's the same as saying 100 divided by 5. So well done if you knew I had to times 5 by 20 to get 100. I need to do the same to my numerator now. What is 3 times 20? Well done if you knew straight away that was 60. So that's the same as saying 60%, because it's 60 out of 100. Now we can put them in order. 59 is obviously the smallest, 60% is in the middle, and 62% would have been the greatest. Right, so having a look at some of the reasoning style questions, it said Rosie and Dora are comparing numbers. And one of the girls has said 11% is the largest because 11 is the biggest number. 2/5 is the smallest because 2 is the smallest number. And then Dora has said, I don't think that's quite right, but I'm not sure how to explain it. So now is our job to see who is correct. You know that 0.6, that's 6 that is in the tens column, so it's 6/10. We need it to be over 100, so I'm going to times them both by 10. So 60 out of 100, that is 60%. We need to convert 2/5, the fraction. How many 5s go into 100? There's 20, so times that by 20 to make your denominator 100. And then what is 2 times 20? Well done if you knew the answer is 40, which means that that is 40%. So 11% is the smallest out of all the percentages that we've got. So Rosie is incorrect. Some reasoning questions might look like this. Find a percentage to make the statement correct. So 0.2, the same as saying 2/10. Again, I want that to be over 100. I'm going to times them both by 10. So that's 20 out of 100. 4 times 25 is going to give me 100 as my denominator. 1 times 25 is obviously 25. So now I need a percentage that can go in the middle of 20% and 25%. And it says how many can you find? So in there, I would expect you to put something that is greater than 20% but smaller than 25. So you could have 21, 22, 23 and 24%. So that will be similar to your green style questions. You need to find which is larger in this, so 64% or 0.46. So remember, looking at this, convert that to 46%, and then you'll be able to say which one is greater. If you have fractions, you need to make sure that you change it over to 100 before you start. This is the same with the orange style questions. You need to make sure that you're changing the fraction to a decimal and to a percentage. So in that first one, you can see that they've done 2/5 is 0.4. So the way they work that out is your denominator, you need to change to over 100, like you've done in all these starter tasks. 5 times 20 gives us 100, so I need to times 2 by 20 on the top. 2 times 20 is 40, which is why as a decimal it would be 0.4 or 0.40, and as a percentage it would be 40%. You need to now go through this column and convert them. So you'd look at 3/4. How many 4s go into 100? You're going to times that by 25 to get over 100. You need to do the same to the top. You need to do 3 times 25, which would give you 75. So you'd do that, then it would be 0.75. And obviously, as a percentage, well done if you know that that would be 75%. And you need to complete the whole box. Red, this is about proving if they are in the correct order. It says these numbers are in the order from smallest to largest. Again, you need to convert them all so that they're over 100. Then you can turn them into percentages and you'll be able to tell if that is true or false. And that's the same for both questions. Purple is the same today. So it's putting them in order. This time it's not true or false, you need to put them into the correct order. So again, turn them all into percentages. The next task for purple is looking at this table and you need to explain if it is greater than a half or less than a half. So 0.9 is obviously 90% or 9/10, that is greater than a half. You need to then work out for the next 3 and tick the column if it is less or greater than a half. The last task on purple today is making sure that you can remember what decimal and what fraction link together. If you can explain on the side how you know and how you've worked it out, then that would be really good to see. Please make sure all of your working out is in your book. Keep your presentation looking as smart as it has been so far, because we're seeing some really good maths work in your book. So please keep it up and make sure you send us lots of pictures of your finished work and email us if you're stuck with any questions. Good luck, Year 6.